the orientation for this course subject, ENGG 415, Numerical Methods and Analysis. Tama naman, no? Lahat is naka-enroll under Numerical Methods and Analysis. Ayun. And all of you are electrical engineering students. Walang napahalong from other programs. Correct?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, sige. So, okay. This would be our orientation. Ayan. Can you see my presentation properly? So, for the mission vision of BSU, I'll skip on that since third year na naman kayo, matagal nyo lang alam yan. So, yung ating course title is Numerical Methods and Analysis. Course code is ENGG 41, 415, 412. Parang 415, no? Mali ako. This should be 415. Sige, anyways, this is a professional course and the prerequisites are differential equations and computer programming 1. So, you're already done with differential equations. Siyempre, tapos na kayo doon. Then, computer programming. When did you take up your computer programming pala? Last year, last school year, or during first year?
First year po, sir.
Last year lang kasi. So, yung ating period of study will be 18 weeks. Starting ng week natin is, ngayon, week 1. So, kapag nagbilang tayo ng week 1, that would start on Monday till Sunday. Hindi Sunday ang simula. Yung week 1 natin is, duration is on August 18 to August 24. Tomorrow is August 24. O, ayun. Yun, kapag, kasi nakadepende doon yung ating mga activities na gagawin. This is a 4-unit subject. We have contact hours, 2 hours for lecture and 3 hours for laboratory. So yung course instructors dito, dalawa kami ni Sir Arvel. Then for sections 5 and 6, I'll be handling those sections. Yung 1 to 4 kay Sir Arvel. Sigurado nagkakain sa akin kayo nag-enroll. Sure na? Sige ha. By the way pala, yung ating contact hours for our schedule, that would be on Saturdays, 7 to 10, and on Sundays, 9 to 11. Tama naman yung schedule na nakalagay sa portal nyo? Or yung nakuha yung schedule? Sige. So, during even weeks, during Saturdays, face-to-face tayo. Then kapag add, online. Then on Sundays, pure online. Tama din? Yung nasa inyo? Okay. So for the course rationale and description, this course covers the concept of numerical analysis and computer software tools in dealing with engineering problems. It includes techniques in finding the roots of an equation, solving systems of linear and nonlinear equations, eigenvalue, polynomial approximation and interpolation, ordinary and partial differential equations. Yung Monte Carlo method, baka hindi na natin ma-take up. Then simulation, error propagation, and analysis. The methods of least squares and good of fit test are also covered. Now, during your early years in engineering or during your early years in your senior and junior high school years, you all been solving mathematical problems. Now, yung mathematical problems daw na yon, you solve that using analytical solution. Now, when it comes to numerical analysis, that would be a different approach. Although we'll be dealing with pa rin naman yung mga basics of algebra, basics of integral calculus, and analytic geometry, but somewhat the approach on finding the lots of equations nga, solving system linear equations, polynomial approximation and interpolation, and solving ordinary and partial differential equations would be a different approach. Ayun. So, yun yung ating pag-aaralan dito. So for the intended learning outcomes, we have three. Upon completion of this course, the student should be able to, number one, analyze which numerical methods are needed to solve groups of equations, system of linear and nonlinear equations, ordinary and partial differential equations. So dito daw sa mga topics na to, iikot yung ating discussion all throughout the semester. Number two, solve electrical engineering problems using numerical techniques. Although some of my samples are purely on the mathematical approach, but we can also apply those the methods that we will learn under this course in solving electrical engineering problems, since most of the problems that we encountered are modeled mathematically. Ayun daw. Pag sinabi natin modeled mathematically, we use formulas in solving for electrical engineering problems. Number three, develop algorithms and programs solving electrical engineering problems using Microsoft Excel and MATLAB. O yun, magma-Microsoft Excel daw tayo and MATLAB for the laboratory part ng ating discussion. Since sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, the total hours for this course per week is 5 hours, 2 hours for lecture, and 3 hours for laboratory. But, yeah, not all the times magla-laboratory tayo. Some of the times, we'll use yung 3 hours in, for lecture. Ayun. So, may laptop ba kayo? Or karamihan ba sa inyo may laptop? O narinig pag ako. O sige, although later on, I'll discuss naman yon kapag dumating tayo dun sa dito. Dun sa later part ng aking discussion of the course syllabus. So for the criteria for assessment, we have 4 assessments. Number one, 20% midterm examination that always happens on the 9th week. Then we have 20% final examination can either be scheduled on the 16th or the 17th week depending on the availability of or the scheduling of the department or the college. Then 50%, this should be the problem set. 50% laboratory exercises and 10% problem sets. So, yung ating 50% na laboratory, ito, would be divided into 2. We'll be having one before midterm examination and one before the final examination. So, 25% yun of your final grade. Then also the problem set will be divided into 2, one before the midterm examination and one before the final examination. So 5%, 5% daw yun. And for the midterm and final examination, usually this will be a written exam, a closed book exam that will be scheduled niya yung midterm on the 9th and the 20 either on the 16th or the 17th week of the semester. Nagets nyo? Or mabilis ako? Nasundan niyo ako? Wala, parang hindi. Walang nagre-react. Tapos nabawasan pa kayo. Kanina 23 na kayo. Ngayon 20 na lang. What happened? I'm monitoring your attendance. Later, I'll be discussing the attendance. Next, teaching and learning strategies. We have lecture discussions. Ayan. This course is designed for both synchronous and asynchronous learning. So, synchronous can be synchronous and asynchronous. Then synchronous can be done face-to-face or online depending on our schedule. And asynchronous, maybe sometime merong activity sa school or merong bagyo or merong kung ano mang mangyari, sana wala naman, um, we'll be also providing you some materials for self-learning. Ayan. Pero commonly, I do my lectures synchronously. Bihira ako mag-asynchronous. Then, the lecture module and other materials for learning are available in Google Classrooms. So, sa Google Classroom, if you have already browsed the Google Classroom, it only has the references or the book references I will be using for my lectures. So I will not be printing any modules. I will not be giving you any PDF file. Yung naka-upload lang sa Google Classroom ang ipoprovide ko sa inyo. So if I have lectures, it's up to you to copy or to make any video recordings, especially during online discussions. Because I won't be providing you or hindi ako magbebenta ng photocopy or any module. Is that clear? O ayun. Pero yung libro na naka-upload sa Google Classroom, you can use that. Yun din ang ginagamit ko actually. Doon din ako nag-base ng aking lecture. Kasi when we were in college, we do not have any modules or manuals. Siguro meron kami modules and manuals, one or two per subject lang. For all the rest, wala kaming modules and manuals. Magpa-photocopy man yung kami dati, mga 5 pages lang per topics. Nakakatamad magpa-photocopy. So, ayun. Kahit nung early na nagturo ako, ayun, isang beses lang ako nagpa-manual. Tapos after yun, hindi na ako nagpa-manual. Although the manual was not prepared by me. So, ayun. Libro ang pinapagamit ko sa estudyante ko. Then, after every topic, a classroom discussion or forum will be left with topic-related questions where the students are required to participate. O ayun, participation is a must in this course, lalo na sa akin. Kasi, dun ko makikita if the students have learned the topic that was discussed on that day. Kasi kung iintayin ko pa yung major exam para malaman kung may natutunan kayo or wala, ay baka hindi nyo pala naiintindihan, huli na ang lahat. Ayun. So, during my discussions or during our discussions, you can always raise questions or questions regarding the topic. Pwedeng paulit po ng explanation, pwede pa pong isa pa po, ayun. So, hindi naman ako nagagalit kapag may nagtatanong. I always encourage my students to raise questions kasi hindi naman ako yung nagagalit kapag may mga nagtatanong. Pero the questions must be related to the topics or the topics that will be discussed. Ayun. And since the book or the PDF copy of the book is already uploaded in the Google Classroom, you can also make advanced study or advanced readings on the topics that will be discussing all throughout this semester. Maliwanag ba? Sure ha? Ayun. Okay, the social networking will also be available for this. For me, I won't be utilizing any social media platform. I will not be using Messenger. Sorry for that. Huwag niyo ako i-message sa Messenger. You can reach me via Google Chat. Ayun. Nagre-reply ako sa Google Chat. Then, um, yun pala, I would also require, sino nga ulit yung si Miss Sophia? Tama, ano, yung class representative, tama, ano, si Miss Sophia. You can also make a Google space or chat space. So then let your classmates or invite your classmate in the Google space so that ako din pala invite mo, baka kailangan mag-invitean. Ayun. Para if there are any announcements to be made, I will announce in the Google space. Since lahat naman kayo ay may GSUIT account. Ayun. So, hindi tayo magpe-Facebook, hindi tayo magme-Messenger, hindi tayo magbe-Discord. We'll be utilizing the Google Chat. Ilang pagawa ako ha, mamaya. After this class, pagawa ako ha. Gawin mo na rin akong tawag dito, tawag dyan, admin. Pwede naman yun. Uy, hindi nakikinig ka sa akin. Ayun. Then, after each topic, sample problems are analyzed and solved in the class, applying the principle discussed. So, kapag nag-discuss ako, first, I will be the one to solve one or two problems or one and one half problems. Kasi yung kalahati at yung pangatlong problem, ayun, it's either a board work or is it work. So problem sets. Like problem set is given and is required to be solved and submitted as specified schedule before major exams. Although the submission may be on or before the major exam. Pero technically, I always do the submission of the problem set on the day of the major exam. Please take note of that. Submission of problem set is on the day of the major exam. If the major exam falls on a weekdays, ay wala ako, the class representative will collect and ipapasuyo ko na lang dito sa faculty room na pakiabot. Ayun. Or, i-announce ko na submission will be on Saturday or Sunday para ako mismo personally yung magre-receive. Ayun. Pwedeng on the day or on the week of the major exam. Tapos may requirement pala ako sa problem set. Problem set shall be written on a blue feather notebook. Are you familiar with the blue feather notebook? Yung malapad na blue feather. Sige, wait lang. Bagal naman kasi ng internet. Yan yung blue feather notebook na ganyan. Yung pinakamalapad. Kasi meron niyang size A4, yung pinakamalapad kasi mahaba yung solution dito sa numerical methods. So, yon. Hindi ako tawag dito, sulat sa typewriting. Ayan, mas madali dito. So, kapag yung iba, walang makita nung hindi ganito, yung nakaring bind yung nakita niya yan, yung mga nakaring bind na ganyan, please, tahiin nyo na lang. Ha? Walang magpapasa sa akin na naka-ring pa siya, pakitahin na lang. Kasi mahirap mag-stop kapag naka, um, tawag dito, hindi nakatahi. Maliwanag gayon. Okay. The next meeting, para mas madali kapag face-to-face, I'll explain kung paano niyo siya gagawin. Or kung paano niya i-present yung, wait lang ha, yung notebook. O, ayan. So, yung pinakamalapad ang bilhin nyo. Okay, let's go back to my, ayan ang nangyari. Wait lang ha. Bakit may pag-left? Mahina ba internet? Maulan ba dyan sa inyo? Okay. Ayan, that's for the problem set. This will serve as a way to gain detailed understanding of the topics, preparing the students to pass the examination. So, ayun. Ang problem set daw ay ginagawa before para yun daw yung inyong review for the upcoming examination para daw makapasa. Ang problem set daw hindi lang binibigay pampahirap, pampapasa daw pala yun. Maliwanag yan. Baka kasi mamaya sabihin mo, habang-haba ng problem set, isa lang sinusulat. O, sinechekan ko yon, kaya wag nyo dito, i-shortcut. At saka, kapag kukopya sa klase, gagalingan ng pagkopya. Kita ko kapag may mali sa kopya, nagbabasa ako. Hindi ako yung kapag nagpa-problem set, titingnan lang kung sino nagpasa or hindi. Nag-check ako. Ayan. Hindi ko na lang sinasabi kung nagno-note na lang ako dun sa notebook nung kapag chinikan ko. Then we have the major exams. We have two major exams na banggit ko kanina, the midterm and the final. This will be given as examinations to assess the students' learning and understanding of the topics discussed during the specified period. This will measure how far the students learn and master the topics and will determine the areas that need improvement on the development of the students' knowledge with the course. So, dito kasi sa yung pala major exam natin is a closed notes exam. So, if there are formula that will be discussed during the discussion, malamang, all those formulas, kailangan nyo, hindi naman i-memorize, but kailangan nyo isa puso at isa isip. Ayun. Then, for the laboratory activities, students should perform at least 4, pero dito, hindi ko sure dun sa syllabus kung 4 ba or kung 2 lang. Pero, sabi naman at least 4 exercises using some of the modern engineering tools and software such as Microsoft Excel and Matrix Laboratory or MATLAB. For the MATLAB, I'm still checking if yung tawag dito, yung installer ko is gumagana. Hindi ko pa kasi na-try kasi nasa isang laptop ko siya. Ayun. So, if ever na kailangan natin ng Matrix Laboratory, I'll be the one to provide the the MATLAB software. Pero kung makakahanap kayo, edi mas okay. Yung Excel naman, meron naman siguro lahat Excel. All laboratory exercises will be performed individually. Wait lang, I'll just check kung individual nga ba to. Ayan, hindi pala ito individually, by group or by pair. Ayan, depende doon sa intense ng trabaho kasi baka naman kapag sobrang dami per group, ay iisa at dalawa tatatlo din na naman ang gagawa, eh di, baka i-group ko kayo ng into threes, ayun, or maximum na ng ano, ng 4 or 5. Ayun. Tapos kapag magpapasa nito, ang pagpapasa ay, uh, since I will only be requiring you the Microsoft the Microsoft Excel, um, in Excel format, and the tawag dito, the native, tawag dyan, save lang. Yung native file extension ng Microsoft Excel at native file extension ng MATLAB, yun yung ipapasa ninyo, as well as a printed copy of the result. Ayun. Ipapasa nyo yung ginawa nyo sa Excel at sa MATLAB, yung soft copy nun. Then you'll also be submitting a printout copy of the exercises done in Microsoft and MATLAB. Ngayon, beware doon sa mga magpapasa ng Microsoft Excel at saka nung soft copy kasi I have ways to check whether those tawag dito, where those tawag dito, files ay iisang tao lang ang gumawa. What do I mean by that? Kunyari, si Group A nakatapos na, si Group 1, 2, at 3 hindi pa tapos. Si Group 1, 2, at 3 hihingi ng file doon sa Group 1. So, ay pahinam ng file niyo, tutularin ko na lang ang pares lang, hindi naman ang problem. Kayo na lang soft copy at hindi na ipapasa ko kay Sir. Ayun. Makikita ko kasi sa logs kung sino ang gumawa noon. Kaya kunyari, apat na groups. Tapos yung group ng gumawa, kasi nanghingi lang yung tatlong group dun sa isa, makikita ko kung sino ang gumawa nun. Kasi meron yung footprint na may iwan. Ayun. So make sure that you're the one to perform your laboratory exercises or activities. Kasi later on, I'll be explaining tawag dito, the consequences on doing such um, doing such acts. Maliwanag na? Final written reports are due at the beginning of the following laboratory class. Typically, kunyari, I, I scheduled the laboratory activity today. So, gagawin niyo siya ngayong araw na to. Pero yung submission will be on the following week. Hindi pa nga on the following week, on the next week. Kasi kung kailan tayo face-to-face din ko pa ipapasa yung written report. Pero yung, tawag dito, yung soft copy can be submitted earlier doon sa written report. Sige, explain ko naman yun kapag tayo ay magla-laboratory experiment. Or not experiment, exercise. Yan, for the assessment task, yan lang yung kanyang distribution. 25, sorry, di ko napalitan. That's 20, 20, 50, and 10. Ito, di ko pa pala ito napalitan. Yung binanggit ko kanina nung una. 20 for the midterm exam, 20 for the final examination, 50% laboratory, 10% problem sets. Ayan, textbooks. We have textbook Chapla Steven and Canali Raymond, Numerical Methods for Engineer 7th edition. Ayun. So, nakita nyo sa Google Classroom, may in-upload akong libro, PDF na libro. O sige, I'll share to you. Ayan. Sa textbooks, ayan, I provided three. Yung isa is the numerical methods for engineers. Ito yung binanggit ko kanina na kay Chapra. 7th edition to. Ayan, mabagal yung internet. Pag ko na lang buksan, kayo na magbukas. Then I also have provided numerical methods in engineering with MATLAB. Ayan. Yung Excel, I'll be the one to discuss that. Ito na lang MATLAB, ipinrovide ko na lang para meron din kayong mababalikan. Kasi Excel naman madali lang. Itong MATLAB, medyo mahirap to kasi it needs coding. Kaya, prerequisite nito yung computer programming 1. Bakit if someone wants to join the call, di pa ba ito naka-enroll? Sino yon? Sino yung bagong pasok? O, ayun. Naka-enroll na ba lahat dito pala? Mamaya I'll be checking your attendance, ha? O, yun, 18 students lang ang nag-enroll sa Google Classroom. Now, for those others that have not yet enrolled themselves in the Google Classroom, please check your student portal because I already have provided the link and the code for you to join this or join the Google Classroom for this course. Tamaan na yung iba doon nakuha. Tama ba? Wala, ayaw niya naman yata ang kausap. Sir, sa 3106, ano yon? Sa 3106 yun na yun, wait lang. Anong sa 31? Sa 3106 po yung nasa screen. Okay lang kahit nasa 3106 yon. Kasi sorry. Dito pala mga student. Okay, sorry. Dito pala. Ayan, 32 students na pala. Ay, 32. May isa pang nung pagbukas ko kanina ng portal ko. So, sige, mamaya ko na lang siya i-check. Dito naman pala kompleto na. May napadagdag pang isa. Sino kayo napadagdag na yan? Okay, mamaya ko malalaman. Ayan. So, nandoon na siya. You just need to um, download the reference textbooks. Kasi yung na-provide ko, I won't be providing modules I have said earlier. Kung sa iba nag-provide daw sila ng module, ako hindi. Ano na nangyari? Okay. Let's continue. So, for the other sources, marami kasi ako nilagay dito na libro. Ayan, kayo na lang maghanap niyan. I'll be providing you the orientation capital. Ano design syllabus na lang later siguro the following week. Mag-provide ako ng copy ng syllabus. Hinintay ko kasi yung may sign. Pero yung dinidiscuss ko ngayon, this is the content of the course syllabus. Ano pa ba? Yung student outcome, I'll just keep on list na lang. Alam ko namang sawang-sawa na kayo sa SO1 na yan, SO2 at SO5, SO9. Ayan. And grading our course policies or the grading system. Everyone is familiar naman with the grading system. Dito lang tayo sa baba. Dito lang ang explain ko. Passing is 375 and above your. Kung sabi ng source, familiar naman kayo sa source, kung sabi ng source, 3 yung grade mo or 3 pataas yung grade mo, they will pass my subject. But if your grade is below 70, that means kapag yun ay 6.999999, hanggat hindi sabihin ng Excel ko na kayo ay pass, fail yun. Then for the incomplete, those students who cannot provide or do not complete the necessary assessment criteria, yung nabanggit ko kanina, problem set, major exams, laboratory activities, if one of those assessments ay na-fail yung ipasa or you fail to submit or to perform one or more of those um, assessments, you will be receiving an incomplete grade. Ayun. So, next naman is yung students who got a computed grade of 70 to 74, actually that's 74.9999, will be given an appropriate remedial activities in which the final grades should either be passing 3 or failure 5. Ano ba daw ibig sabihin nun? Nung appropriate remedial activity. Technically, or typically, the remedial activity that I'm giving to my students is in the form of a remedial exam or a removal exam. That would be on the 17th week. No, 17th or 18th week. Right after the major exam. Kasi kung in-schedule yung major exam ng 16, the, the removal exam is on the 17th week. If 17 yung final exam, the removal exam is on the 18th week. No more, no less. I can only give only one remedial exam, and if you get the target grade, you'll get a grade of 3. Otherwise, you'll be having a grade of 5. Ayun. So, for the students that will get a grade below 70, automatically, you will be getting a grade of 5 and you'll not be given the chance to have the remedial exam. Is that clear? Kasi nasa syllabus naman or nasa course policy naman na ang bibigyan lang daw ng removal exam ay yung 70 to 74. Below 70, automatically, you'll receive a grade of 5. Is that clear? O, ayun. Maliwanag yun, ha? Okay, mag-alala. Nagpapakita naman ako ng grade. Then, class policy, prompt and regular attendance of the students is required. O ayun, kailangan daw araw-araw papasok sa klase ko. Kahit ako ay boring daw or kahit ako ay nakakauta daw pakinggan kasi ang dami-dami ko daw sinasabi. So, total unexcused absences shall not exceed 10% of the maximum number of hours required per course per semester. Pero ako dito, hindi naman ako, tawag dito. Actually, I do check the attendance regularly, not to, tawag dito, not as part of your grade, but to monitor whether, ay, kaya pala itong estudyanteng to ay 5, 5 pala na-attend sa akin. Ayun. Doon ko makikita kung yung mga estudyante ay masipag pumasok, merong pagpapahalaga sa sa klaseng ito, kasi, tawag dito, nakakatamad magbigay ng extra points or adjustment to grade doon sa estudyanteng hindi ko nakita buong SEM. Magpakita man 1-2 beses lang buong SEM. Tapos, kapag bigayan ng grade, maghahanap bakit nasan doon ang kanyang grade. Kung pwede ba daw siyang mag-comply, kung pwede pa daw ba siyang magpasa ng ganito, magpasa ng ganyan. Abay, buong SEM kang hindi nagpakita, tapos ngayon ka maghahabol kung kailan magpapasa na ng grade. Hindi gayon ang, hindi gayon ang attitude dapat ng estudyante. Kasi kaya tayo ay nag-schedule ng klase ay para inyong attendan. Ako naman kapag nagka-klase talaga ako. Hindi rin ako nag-a-absent. Unless meron akong emergency or may importante akong gagawin. Pero dun sa binigay sa ating schedule, I always attend. I always attend. At lagi akong may klase. Ayun. Ayun. Yung attendance lagi kong check-checkin, hindi siya part ng grade, pero siya ay pwede kong gamitin na consideration, ay itong batang ito or itong estudyante ito laging pumapasok sa akin. Pwede kong i-adjust yung kanyang grade. O kaya itong estudyante ito di man na rin napasok, tapos ang grade ay 5. Tapos kung pwede daw siya magpapasa or magko-complete, ay nako, baka sabihin niya na in-complete ko siya or baka sabihin niya sa akin, ay sir, ano po, hindi lang po ako nakapagpasa ng ganito, ganyan. Pero siningko niyo po ako kasi sabi niyo po sir, ang makaka-receive po ng incomplete ay yung mga estudyante po na na hindi makakakompleto ng assessment. Lahat ng assessment di mo na kompleto kasi hindi ka nagpakita sa akin, automatic 5 ka. May ganun akong estudyante last sem, hindi nitong summer, nung second sem. May isang beses hindi nagpakita pala sa akin sa corridor lang. Mga 2 beses nagpakita sa akin sa corridor. Hindi naman corridor ang aming klase, nasa loob ng classroom. Tapos nung bigayin ng grade, abay naghahanap ng grade, magpapasa daw siya. Sabi ko, hindi na. 5 ka kaagad, di kaya manaatin. O ayun, huwag niyang gagawin yun. Di magandang example yun. Pero meron na akong nasampulan. No? Ako naman ay mabait kapag ang aking estudyante ay masipag, may pag-iintindi sa sarili. Pero kung gayon kagaya nung binanggit ko kanina estudyante na ko, hindi ako mangingi ng ising ko yun. Maliwanag lang. O sige. Missed examinations. O ayan. Students who fail to take the exam during the scheduled date can be given special exam provided he or she has a valid reason. Ano ba daw yung mga valid reason na yon? Una, nagkasakit ka na hindi ka makabangon sa kama, masama talaga ang pakiramdam mo during the major exam, na-hospitalize ka, you need to have a schedule kasi nakaschedule naman yung check-up sa doktor. Kaso nga lang yung schedule ay napatapat na na tawag dito, na major exam. Ayun. Yun ay acceptable, magpo-provide lang ng medical certificate kung na-confine or kung nagpa-check up. Pero if sa bahay lang daw na-confine, di or sa bahay lang daw nag-stay during may sakit, di gagawa ng excuse letter, sulat kami ng magulang, pirmado ng magulang, at yun ang ibibigay sa akin. O ayun, yun ang isang instance. Pangalawa, may bagyo, or baha sa inyo, or kahit hindi naman may bagyo. Minsan kasi umuulan, tuloy daw ang exam. Pero hindi ka makaalis ng bahay kasi baha sa inyo, walang nasakyan. O ayun, excusable yun. O kaya, pagpasok sa school, may aksidenteng nangyari. Pero wag naman sana. Nabangga yung sasakyan nyo kung sinasakyan papuntang school or pero hindi ko sinasabing ibangga nyo. Ayun. Pero wag naman ganun. Huwag naman tayong humantong sa ma-aksidente. O kapag may aksidente, acceptable. Or meron kayong family member na kailangan nyo talagang samahan sa ospital or yung parent or yung one of your parent ay na-confine, nagkasakit, walang ibang magbabantay, ikaw lang talaga. O ayun, excuse me. Ano daw yung hindi mga excuse? Tinanghali po ako sa nangising kasi nag-review po ako ng numerical methods. Kasi ang haba po ng solution. Tinanghali po ako nangising kasi hinabol ko po yung submission rate ng inyong problem set. O ayun, hindi yung excuse. Kasi lahat naman ng ibibigay ko that will be given ahead of time. Ano pa hindi excuse? May bakasyon po kami papuntang Japan, papuntang Canada, papuntang California. May estudyante akong gano'n. Magbabakasyon daw sila. Sabi ko, alam pa naman, bakit ang bakasyon mo itinaon mo ng exam? Ng removal exam pa pala. Ayan, removal exam nga pala, kasama yung sa mixed examinations. Yun lang yung valid. Kasi alam naman pilitin kita na ng mag-removal exam, ikaw pala ay may sakit. Bibigyan kita na special exam para doon. Ano daw, aabay sa kasal yan. Ako, anong-ano yan. Kasi ang panahon pa naman natin ngayon, December. Yung removal exam ay panahon ng uwian sa probinsya, kasalan, bakasyon kung saan, handaan. O, ayun. Aatin lang garni, aatin lang gayon. Hindi valid reason yun. Kasi ang sa atin naman, yung ating exam, mga exam natin, is scheduled ng 9, ng 16, 17, at saka 18th week. Basta yung mga weeks na yon, ibakante nyo para doon sa mga major exam. O sabihin mo doon sa iyong pinsan, ay hindi ako makakaabay, week kasi yan na examan. Matutuloy naman ang iyong kasal kapag ako hindi umabay. Ako'y hahabol na lang sa reception. O ayun. Pwede ka daw yung gayon. Maliwanag ah. O yung mga bakasyon ninyo, schedule nyo after na lang ng 17th week. Kahaba pa naman ng after 17th week at saka ng January. Doon na lang kayo magbakasyon. Academic dishonesty. Academic dishonesty includes acts such as cheating during examinations or plagiarism in connection to or with any academic work. O, yun yung binabanggit ko kanina sa laboratory exercises. Isa lang daw yung group yung gagawa, kakopyahin na ng lahat. That can be considered as plagiarism. Kasi kinopya mo yung gawa nila. Although may pahintulot ka, pero pag ako ang tumingin nun, kinuha mo yung gawa niya. Plagiarism yon. Such acts are considered major offense and will be dealt with in accordance with the University Students' Norms and Conduct. Now let's discuss cheating during examinations. Cheating during examinations are not limited to doon sa may mga hawak na kodigo, nagbubukas ng cellphone, nagtitingin sa cellphone, or nag-o-open ng, tawag dito, nag-o-open ng sino ba to? Ayun, nag-o-open ng notes during examinations. O, kasi yung typical na cheating. Cheating during examinations can be extended to pagtatanong sa katabi. Yan, hilig-hilig magtanong sa katabi. Sasabihin, ay, tinatanong ko lang po kung magkano ang test paper. Tinatanong ko lang po kung magkano, kung ano pong date na isusulat. Ba't ka mas better mong itanong dun sa katabi? Hintayin mo yung proctor na lumapit sa iyo or makita mo, doon ka magtanong ng date, doon ka magtanong kung ang magkano ang babayaran, doon ka magtanong kung ano ang gagawin dun sa exam. During the 2 hours examinations, you are prohibited to talk with your seatmates or to your classmates. Yung pati pagpapasa ng exam, ay itatanong pa sa katabi na, uy, ako'y magpapasa na, sabay na tayo. Kung gusto mo magpasa ka. You do not need confirmation from your classmate or from your friend na magpapasa na kayo ng exam. Hindi naman kayo parehas ang isip niyan. Ikaw tapos na, yung katabi mo hindi pa tapos, tapos pipilitin mo magpasa. O ayun. Refrain from talking with your seatmates or your friends or your classmates during examinations. Kasi kapag kayo ay nahuli, lalo't hindi ako ang bantay, without further explanations, I would accept the decision of your proctor during that exam that you that you have conducted cheating on that examination. Siyempre, ang papaniwalaan ko yung binigyan ko ng authority para magbantay sa inyo. Kahit mag-explain ka sa akin, wala naman ako doon, hindi ko mababalidate ang iyong reason. So, siyempre ako, pinakausapan ko yung aking co-teacher na siya ang magbantay, yung aking co-faculty siya ang magbantay, all the jurisdiction during the exam or the, tawag dito, yung lahat ng authority pag nagpapag-exam, sa exam ko, ay binibigay ko dun sa instructor na yon. Kaya kapag kayo ay nahuli, edi, you automatically be given no grade, hindi zero ha, no grade on that particular exam. Diba kasi yung zero? Kasi sa source yung zero, may equivalent yung grade. Pero kapag yun ay blanco, wala yung grade. Avoid also glancing on your seatmates. Yung lagi na si palingon-lingon kanan kaliwa. Yung lilingon lang daw sa bintana kasi nauumay na daw dun sa tinitingnan. Refrain from doing that. Ang pwede lang na gawin ay tumungo doon sa exam or tumingala sa kisam mo. Di kapag tumingala kayo, sabayan nyo na rin ang panalangin. Sabihin nyo, Panginoon, bigyan ako ng linaw ng pag-iisip para masagutan aring exam na ari pagkahirap-hirap naman po. Ayun. Yun ang tingin. Tingin sa papel, sariling papel ha, baka tingin sa papel lang katabi. Tingin sa sariling papel at tingin kay Lord sa langit at sabayan ng dasal. Baka kapag nagdasal, mabigyan ng kaliwanagan ng isip, maalala ang formula. Nagkakaintindihan? Maliwanagan. Ayun ha. Yun ay usapan natin. Kaya ipinapaliwanag ko ngayon. Baka kasi mamaya may mahuli lalapit sa akin. Ako po'y kinuhanan ng papel ni Sir ganito, ni Ma'am ganyan. Ayun. Walang lalapit sa akin na gano'n. Dropping. Itong dropping, hindi naman ako nag-drop. Kayo nag-drop sa registrar. Walang drop. Kung hindi kayo umaten sa akin, automatic sin ko yun. Kagaya ng binanggit ko kanina, hindi kayo umaaten sa subject ko, meron akong pa-attendance, ayun. Ang teacher learning assessments, ayan, wait lang. Ano? Yung ating syllabus ay hindi ko mapindot. Sige, I'll just open the syllabus. Anong oras na? 8:30 pa lang naman pala. Hanggang oras tayo? Hanggang 10? Sige, let's have a quick break muna.